Good morning, everyone. It is another great day to be Game Time Excellence, where we show up as the best version of ourselves, fighting to be available, fighting to be fully present, controlling what we can control, having a great attitude, an impeccable work ethic, speaking life to ourselves and the people around us, and using wisdom to respond to tough situations. Last week I got back from North Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota, where I got a great opportunity to speak to superintendents, principals, and counselors at the NDCEL conference, the North Dakota Conference of Educational Leaders. It was a wonderful conference. I enjoyed my time there. Wonderful people, wonderful event planner, an amazing executive director, marketing person, great team. And I've never had this happen at a speaking engagement before. I never had it happen. I've never had a close encounter where I was about to miss the engagement where I couldn't reschedule because this is a conference. It's not like I'm speaking at a school or a business where they can kind of be a little bit more flexible just in case the flight is delayed and I can't make it. This is a conference. I have to make it on that day, and so I have global entry, TSA, and I'm never worried about being late because I'm gonna get through that bad boy. I don't check on any bags. I'm gonna get through it, and I'm gonna be good to go. But this particular day, I was flying the day before, and as I'm driving up to the flight, it says my flight goes from 5:11, 5:20. Okay, I'm good. 5:20, 5:30. Good. 5:30 to 5:50, and it says I won't get there to Denver until 6:50, and my connecting flight from Denver to North Dakota is at 7. I'm like, dang, I can't make it. So I call United. I'm like, hey, what can I do? Can I get a later flight? And they're like, man, we don't have anything. I'm like, y'all don't have anything? He was like, the only thing we do have is you can fly out at 9 a.m. and get there at 12:30. I'm like, 12:30? I speak at 1. Like, what if something happens? I don't know if I can make that. You don't have anything earlier than that? They're like, man, we don't have anything. This is what you can do. The person on United is like, well, I mean, at least you'll get there. That's better than nothing. I'm like, that's a good attitude. I enjoy it, but I got to get there. And back in the day, what I would do is I would allow my mind to beat me. I would allow my circumstance, my condition to determine how I feel in that moment. But in this moment, I was like, man, I'm grateful. I'm blessed. It'll all work out. I was flexible. And I think that's a mindset we all need to have. So I was cool, calm, and collected throughout this entire experience. I call the event planner. I'm like, hey, my flight got delayed to the point where I'm about to miss my flight and I can't get in until 9 a.m. And I can't leave until the next day at 9 a.m. and leave and get there at 12:30. They're like, 12:30, you speak at 1. I'm like, I mean, I know I can't really control what's happening right now. I get on the flight and we leave at 6:10 and we get there at 6:30. So man, shout out to the pilot. They had to be like blasting it out there. I'm like, yes, yes. And so I land, I see it's 6:30. I call United. I'm like, man, United, like, can you get me on this flight again? I think I can make it. I can run. And they're like, I don't know. So they're checking. I'm like, please let me know. And they say, we can get you on. So now I'm going through Denver's airport. Denver's airport is huge. So I go to the train, I'm running. And then I get there, I make it right on time, but my flight is delayed. So regardless, I would have made it anyway. But I think in that moment, it taught me such a good lesson. Always be flexible in tough situations. Panicking it will only hurt you. And so keep an attitude of gratitude, keep a flexible mindset, be able to stay cool during the heat. Some people get stressed out when it's pressure time. And you see some athletes, they rise to the occasion when it's pressure on them, or they fold. And I think that's the same thing in life. When people go through tough situations and they're super rigid, they fold under pressure and they get super stressed and bundled up. And so from now on, I control what I can control, and I'm flexible. You know what I mean? And so when I got there at 12 a.m. I woke up the next day and spoke. And one thing I spoke to the principals, the counselors, and the people that attended, I spoke to them about the best ability we all have is our availability. And we all need to create a maintenance plan because a lot of us have crisis plans. We don't fix things until things hit the fan. We don't want to go to counseling until, we're about to have a relationship issue or we have a life crisis. We don't have a maintenance plan so we can deal with the minor issues so they don't become major issues, right? And so one question I asked them that stuck out to me the most was, what are 3 unhealthy boundaries you have that you need to change before next school year? What are 3 unhealthy boundaries you have that you need to change before next school year? And they're writing down, and one person in particular shared one boundary that they need to change is that they feel like they have to do it all, and they were doing it all. And okay, I was like, okay, and I was like, how you gonna change it? They were like, I'm gonna, work on delegating more, and I'm gonna work on trusting people more. And I think we all struggle with that piece right there. But then I was like, okay, if you don't, it's not just enough to know how to change something. We have to know, like, what is it costing us? So I asked her, what is it costing you? Well, health. She doesn't drink or eat properly. Sleep. Family, because she's spending such long days at school. Her family gets neglected. Her kids, her husband, all that right there. And so I was like, okay, what will it cost you 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now if you don't ever change this? And we can all use our imagination right there, because 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, what will happen? She doesn't take care of her health, her relationships, and her sleep, and if she doesn't trust people, what I mean, what would her relationships at work look like? And so I think that is such a good exercise for us all to do, because one thing we all need in our maintenance plan is boundaries. If we don't have boundaries, man, everything goes into chaos. So we need boundaries to keep things, at bay. So my question for you is, what are 3 unhealthy boundaries you have for yourself, and what way can you change it? And what is it currently costing you? If you don't change it, what will it cost you in the future? All right, everyone, continue to be game time excellent. That's my story for today. Man, keep running, keep having a flexible mindset, and build that maintenance plan. Be blessed.